before I kickstart over here with this webinar, I would just like to understand how many of you really want to start your journey, your career as Scrum Master. If you're someone who is really excited and want to start your journey as Scrum Master, type me in the chat box. Type me in the chat box if you're someone who is willing to start your journey, your career as Scrum Master. Okay. All right. Okay. Superb. Superb. Okay. So if you're someone who is willing to start your journey, your career as Scrum Master, okay, type me in the chat box. And with this note, okay, so good to see here a lot of aspiring Scrum Master we do have in this session. And with this note, let's get started. Okay, so good to see here. And now, first thing first, as this webinar is all about helping individuals to start journey as Scrum Master. So first thing first, you need to understand who is Scrum Master, what this person does. And if you are someone who is going to start your career, your journey as Scrum Master, what all you need to do. So let's get started, and let's get started from let me share my PPT, and here we go. So first thing first, we need to understand who exactly is the Scrum Master. And if I talk about Scrum or Scrum Master, it's something very much simple and easy to understand. Why? Because if you just go with the word itself, what it says, someone who is having mastery in what Scrum framework, and that person is who is the Scrum Master. So if you are someone who is going to work as a Scrum Master, means you are supposed to have expertise in Scrum. And what is Scrum? That is what you are going to learn today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow in detail. So in on high level, if I have to talk about, Scrum is a framework which helps if you do have any complex project, you do not have absolute clarity about that project, but still you can implement that project by following Scrum framework, and you can get a better result. That is what a high level summary of, you can say, Scrum framework all about. Now, what about you? So if you are someone who is going to start your career as a Scrum Master, what you need to do? Right. So on that aspect, first, what we say here, you being a Scrum Master, you are a Scrum expert, right? So if you are expert, then what it mean by this word expert means you are going to help your team members to understand Scrum in a better way so that it can be implemented on the ground. Also, what we say about Scrum Master, that you being a Scrum Master, you are a process owner. What it means? So Scrum is something which is having certain events that we'll talk about in detail tomorrow. Today, I will just introduce those events and all. And that is what you need to make sure that the right kind of process is getting followed in your team, in your project, what you are handling. And also what we say as a Scrum Master, one of the major job role of a Scrum Master is what? Acting as a facilitator. And what it means by facilitator? Facilitator doesn't mean that, hey, I have scheduled a meeting or something, you just go to join and then my job is done. No, not exactly. Then what you need to do? As a Scrum Master, facilitator means making sure people do join. More than that, they should understand what is the intent of that specific meeting, and whatever is the agenda of that meeting, it is achieved. And that is what a main role of facilitator, that is what you're going to do. And yes, as a Scrum Master, you work as a coach, you work as a mentor, you also work as a trainer. What it mean by this? So possible that your team who is going to work with you, they are maybe something totally new. They do not have any idea at all about Scrum. So your job role is to help them understand what Scrum is all about, help them understand, let's say there's a specific event, meeting going to happen, what is expected from them. And that is what you are going to do. And that's what we say here as a Scrum Master, you are a trainer, you are a mentor, you are a coach. Next one over here, if you talk about as a Scrum Master, one of your major job role is what? Resolving conflict. Okay, so what is conflict? Is it something that required? Why? the conflict will happen. So first of all, conflict is something you cannot avoid at all. You can't say, hey, I will do something like this, that there is no any conflict. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Why? Because conflict will happen in the family, between the spouse. It happens, husband and wife. Conflict is sometimes it happens between the friends, family, siblings, and all. But the point over here is, if there's a conflict, you should not leave in between that, hey, whatever it is, you are just going to leave it and then we'll proceed further. No. If there's a conflict, there's a problem, there's an issue, you need to make sure that this specific conflict is resolved so that your team member can get the better output and they are able to be much more productive. That is what you're going to do. Again, how to do the conflict resolution, that's altogether a different technique. And you need to make sure that there's no any specific conflict in your team. That is what is your job role. And yes, what we say about Scrum Master, you are going to make sure that if there is any specific impediment, if there is any specific challenge your team members are facing, those challenges are resolved so that your team is able to proceed further and they are again able to be much more productive. But what it means and how you're going to do it. So as a Scrum Master, you're not supposed to be always a technical person. It's not like, hey, you may be thinking, hey, how I can resolve conflict, how I can help my developers, team members. I'm someone who is not from IT background. I'm not done engineering. Do not have, let's say, development or technical experience. How I can help my team members? Point is, certainly you can do that. And how? So let's understand with some example. So let's say one of your team member is approaching to you that, hey, Scrum Master, I'm working on this functionality and this is, let's say, about payment gateway integration and I'm stuck. The approach, whatever I'm following, it's not working out. I need some help. So you being a process owner, you being a facilitator, you being a team coach, what you will be doing? You just ask this developer that, hey, did you check in the team? Is there anyone who can help you on this? If yes, go ahead, check and get it resolved. What if this developer says, hey, I already checked with all the team members. Unfortunately, no one has idea on it. No one has done this payment gateway integration. So in certain scenario, you as a Scrum Master, you will be having access to some senior folks in the organization. And your job role over here is to arrange a meeting, facilitate a meeting between your developer and this senior folk so that whatever challenge problem they are facing, those challenges, those problems are resolved. So this is what is the nutshell you can say. Is it like all what you have to do? The answer is no. There is a lot more, but just to make you aware about that, what all something you need to start being aware about Scrum Master. This is something you have to do. Okay. All right. So looks good. I do understand who is Scrum Master, what this person does. But is it something like if you talk about Scrum Master jobs are in demand? Do we have enough jobs for the Scrum Master role? Right? I'm sure you must have this question. So let me ask you a counter question on this. So if you have to search for a job, which job portal you will be referring? So which job portal you do refer to search for a job? Do respond here in the chat box. Okay, so I'm sure if you are a working professional, you must have, okay, so which job portal? Okay, so LinkedIn, Naukri, which job portal you will be referring? Okay, so let me see. Okay, all right. And I can see most of the people, what they are responding as the Naukri, LinkedIn, no, internal job portals. Okay, all right. Yes, that also works. Okay, LinkedIn, Naukri. Okay, so let me do right away a quick check. And this quick check is all about what. Okay, let me see how many job. Okay, so let me do here as well. So I'm on the Naukri site here, and what I'm looking for. how many openings we do have for which profile? Scrum Master. And here we go. Let me search. And yes, I can see how many, 62,594. Again, I have not added any specific location preference. I have not added any experience bar. Some are old, some are new jobs. But the point over here is there are a lot of job opportunities in this job role. Why? Because any company, if you talk about most of the companies in today's time, they are following agile methodology. And if there is agile, any framework they do follow, certainly they need Scrum Master. That's why this job role is in demand. Okay, fine. So makes sense. I understood who is Scrum Master, what this person does, and yes, this job role is in demand. The next point over here is if I'm someone who is willing to start my career as Scrum Master, how much number I can expect? In fact, before that, if I talk about what all are the key skills needed to be a Scrum Master. Okay, so before I proceed, just to check if I'm audible to everyone, my audio is clear. So I can see someone, okay, not able to hear by Preeti. So am I audible? If I'm audible to everyone, do type A for audible. If you can hear me, type A in the chat box, A for audible. I hope it's audible to everyone. Okay, all right, super. So whoever is not able to hear, I would say you can just check it out from your side. Okay, I think from my side it's clear. All right, thank you. Thanks for confirmation. Okay, all right, so let's proceed here. So, okay, all right. So if I am someone who want to start my career, my journey as a Scrum Master, what all skill set I need to have? Okay, so first of all, you need to have a good communication because Scrum Master, it's all about talking to your team members, helping, facilitating, sometime internal, external management people as well, from client side, sometime. So you need to have good communication skill. And when I talk about good communication skill, especially I have mentioned this word and what it is, listening power. And when I'm saying good communication, I mean here you should feel comfortable in talking. It's not like you need to have your English something like Tharur. In fact, I'm also not on that level. But yes, you should feel comfortable in talking with the people. That is what is required here. Number one. Number two, when I'm saying here listening power, this job role is about, let's say we discuss about conflict resolution. If you are someone who doesn't have patience to listen people, how you can understand what is the problem, right? And for that, you need to have a patience to listen people problem, and then only you can solve or you can suggest them. And that's what here listening power I have added. Next one is certainly you need to have a good Scrum knowledge. What is the Scrum framework? What this framework is all about? What are the roles, event, artifacts, certain more deeper aspect you need to learn. Anyway, if you are someone going to act as a master in the Scrum framework, you need to learn. And the next part over here is when you work as a Scrum Master, mostly you will be spending your time on a tool, something like Jira. It's a kind of issue tracking tool. So you need to have expertise on any tracking tool. Most of the companies, they use Jira tool. So any tool like this, you need to have good expertise. Now, these are the things what can be learned here. But it's like I do have my mentorship program where I do help individuals like you who want to quick start the journey as a Scrum Master. And I just look for two things. Number one, you must need to have good communication skill. And number two, you must have done your bachelor degree. Let me repeat. You must have done your bachelor degree at least 3 to 4 years back. Why? Why 3 to 4 years back? The reason is a Scrum Master job is not a fresher job. It's a kind of managerial job. So in this aspect, you need to showcase some experience already that you do have. Hey, I do have 5 year experience, but not in IT. I have sales experience. I have 7 year, 4 year, 10 year in sales, marketing, teaching, or whatever. Again, doesn't matter. 80% of my students are someone who are from non-IT background and they are successfully working as Scrum Master. Why? Scrum Master is not about having technology expert. It's about a process expert. You need to have expertise in the process, what this process is all about, and need to make sure that your team members are able to follow it. So if you are just having these two criteria, having good communication, number one. Second, if you are someone who has done your bachelor degree 3, 4, 5 years back, any background doesn't matter, you are a good fit for this. Okay, now, so moving forward from here, okay, fine. I understood who is Scrum Master, what this person does. There is job demand as well for this job role. And yes, it looks good. I'm able to resonate with this. But what about numbers? If I'm someone who's looking for transition in this job role, how much number I can expect? Okay, so on this aspect, what I say here, there is average number, average salary, rather what you can say. And average salary, it's not about Scrum Master job role, it's just about, you can say, in IT. And how this average salary works. So overall experience, whatever you do have, just multiply that by number 2. That should be your expected CTC. So I'm someone who did, let's say, a bachelor degree, okay, something around 7 years back. So 7 into 2, if I talk about how much it becomes, 14 LPA. It's something I would say it's an average number. And when I'm saying here what average, it means average. It's not the top level ceiling. I have students having 11-year experience, they are getting something around 28 LPA also. So if you are someone who has done 10 years back your bachelor degree, whatever domain it is, doesn't matter, you should target, you should be having at least 20 LPA. And let me tell you, if you are someone who is not touching this bar, which one? At least double of your experience, you are not doing justice with yourself, with your knowledge, with your capacity. Why? Everyone has immense potential to go on the next level, but you need to have the right content and right action you need to take so that you can go on the next level. And so many of people, they do just compromise. Somewhat you have potential, but you are just thinking, should I do it? Is it something for me? I would say if you are over here, certainly you can do that. And just let me check here. I do not want to know your number, that how much number you are withdrawing, but just you have to respond in the chat box 2 things. One is what if you are someone who is getting, let's say, number of experience you do have into 2 and more than that. 10-year, 20 LPA. If you're getting more than 20, type M in the chat box. And if you are someone who is getting less than that, let's say I am having done my bachelor degree 15 years back and I'm just getting 50-70,000 per month, type L in the chat box. L or M, these 2 options you do have. Okay, so whatever you are able to connect, whatever category you follow here, do type here in the chat box. L or M, only 2 options you do have. Okay, all right. Okay, LM, let me see here. And I can see most of the people, okay, 1, 2, 2, I got M, and most of the people, what I'm getting response here as L. Okay, so if you are someone who is in the category L, whenever you did your bachelor's, since then, overall job, how much you have done into 2. If you are not getting that number, I would say you are not doing justice with yourself. Why? Because it's time for you to take action to go on the next level, do something upskill, but you do deserve a lot more than whatever you are thinking about yourself. Okay, so this is just about giving you the clarity that yes, where you do stand as of today so that you can take some corrective action and you can go on the next level. So, right, so let's proceed further from here. And the next thing, okay, everything looks good about the number wise also, it's good. But what about next? If I am going to start my career as Scrum Master, where I can see myself in next 5 years, 10 years, what will be my career? What will be my future? So again, the entry point over here is the one, and what you can see here as a Scrum Master with some more expertise, you will become senior Scrum Master. If you are someone who is much more connected with the agile space, and if you want to go in the same direction, the next role for will be something called release train engineer if you're working in the safe environment. or you will be agile coach. When you do work closely with the Scrum team, in a Scrum team, certainly you are going to work with the PO, with the product owner. And if you're someone who build interest towards a product, you can be product owner, you can be product manager, product head, altogether a different job role. So that is also, you have a new dimension of opportunities. And next one over here, if you talk about when you work as a Scrum Master, you are going to report your delivery manager, project manager or so. And if you are someone who build interest towards that, you can be project manager, delivery head, all together in the service-based organization, a different job role. The point over here is your entry point is one, but based on your interest, you have diversified option, whichever you feel comfortable, you can connect through it and you can go on the next level of the career. Okay, so this was the first section of the webinar to give you clarity of who is Scrum Master, what this person does on high level. And if you are someone who is going to start your journey, your career as Scrum Master, what all are prerequisite, what is going to be the future option, what are the salary range, something you can expect. And this was the level one, I would say the first part of the webinar. And with this, we'll proceed with the second part, the main content of this webinar. And before we go and deep dive on the main content of this webinar, is it okay if I can just quickly introduce myself so that you're also aware about the person who is teaching, who is pitching us today, and for next 2 days, what is my credibility, who I am, what all I have done. Okay, so is it okay if I can just quickly introduce myself? Yes, no? Do you want to know about it? Okay, yes, no? Okay, all right, super, thank you. So let me just quickly introduce myself. So my name is Jitendra Kumar Yadav. Altogether, I have around 14 plus year experience in the industry. I'm an IT career potential coach, and I truly believe everyone has immense potential to do wonders in the life. Everyone has immense potential. You just need to have a right set of knowledge, and much more than that, you need to have a right set of mentor so that you can follow a proven roadmap and you can go on the next level of your career. That is what something is required. So I'm founder of this community called Yantra. I'm a certified Scrum professional, Scrum master. I'm a certified safe trainer, and this is my passion to help individuals like you to help them to career transition in the agile role. And I'm on a mission right now. Why I'm in this webinar? Because I'm on a mission to help 10,000 plus professionals to switch in agile related jobs. And I'm someone who is belong to a city called Gazipur, which is in UP. It's my native, near to Varanasi. I did my schooling from Patna, Bihar. And then I went to Bhopal, from where I did my engineering in year 2009 in electronics and communication. After that, again, I was there till 2015, next 6 years. And in 2015, I moved to Bangalore. And right now, when I'm live in this webinar, I am talking to you from Silicon City of India, which is Bangalore. So moving next, I'm someone who do believe that learning is something, it's a lifelong process. It's not about, hey, I have done my engineering, my bachelor's, my MBA, whatsoever, my schooling and all. So I'm done with education. If you are someone who want to grow, you need to upskill always. And I am happy to share that I have invested a lot of amount in my upskilling. You can see here, when I started my Scrum journey, I did my certain certification from Mr. Nanda Lankalpalli on the left side of this page. Here, right side, you can see I did my certification, train the trainer, how to be an effective trainer, last year in March. And last year in month of September, I was in Mumbai to attend a conference. I met my mentor, Robert Kiyosaki, who gave a lot of impression on my mind earlier when I started my college journey. So he is author of a famous book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Some of you may have read his book, very popular, famous book in the space of personal finance. And also on the right side, you can see Aman Gupta, Sark Aman Gupta, board company founder. I met him. And I'm someone who truly believe in upskilling. So if you do connect with the people who are next level than you, certainly you will be able to grow. Otherwise, you will be certainly stuck wherever you are. And this kind of mentorship training has helped me. And I'm so happy to share that I have transformed so many of my students, someone from altogether different background. So you can see here, banker to Scrum Master. So Naveen was someone, last year he approached to me. He was in the banking stream, let out from the job, having 14-year experience, 6 months of around career gap. And he was let off from the job. He was looking to transition. In just a matter of around 45 days to 2 months, he was able to go from 13.5 LPA to 21 LPA. Someone from BPO to Scrum Master. So I have a lot of students from a different background, from BPO to Scrum Master, from manufacturing industry to sales to Scrum Master, from here you can see Sayed, who was in the civil field, right? So having 6-year experience as a site engineer, having 4.6 LPA package, and he was able to transition as a Scrum Master with 12 LPA. Similarly, I have so many success stories from QA, from developer to Scrum Master. It's all about commitment. If you are someone who is committed that, yes, I want to make it, certainly you can do that. And we at Skill Yantra, we are having expertise in providing training on Scrum Master, Product Owner, BA, Jira tool and all. This is what I do, right? So this is what is something of basics about, so that you are also aware about the person to whom you are listening, who I am, and to whom you are listening here. And with this note, let's get started with the main content of the webinar. And what we are going to learn about is why Scrum. So it's like I just said here, first of all, whatever you're going to do, you need to understand the core aspect of it. So with this aspect, let's get started. So are you ready to jump on the main part of this webinar, ready for learning? If you are someone ready to learn, type RTL in the chat box. RTL stand for ready to learn. Okay, so are you ready? Ready to learn, RTL. Okay, superb. Good to see you. And very often I will keep on asking you to respond something. You need to respond. Why? Because you respond here means you are active. You are not sleeping. And very much possible, whenever I am taking some certain topic, you may have some questions. At end of this webinar, I will be having around 20 minute slots. So for anyone having any question, I will be taking all your questions. Okay, so with this note, let's get started. So what we're going to talk about, first thing first, why Scrum, why rather Agile. So what happens, something around, you can say 50 years back, 50. So when IT was just in the nascent stage, I'm talking about something around 1970s. That time, that era was not of IT, mostly where the manufacturing, factories, industry, and so. So when IT was just in the nascent stage, there are several companies, IT companies having multiple projects going on. One problem they were facing, and the problem was they do not have any structured approach to implement a project. And this challenge, this problem, what leads? So any company you go, if you go in one project, there's a different style of working. You go to other project, they have a different style of working. In the same company, 5 projects, and if I want to see what is going on, I will be confused. Why? Altogether different style of working. You go from one company to other company, again a different style of project implementation. So there was a challenge. Why not we can have a standard way what everyone can follow, and still you can get the best output of this project. And that's what we say here. There's a need. Certainly you will get a solution for it. So many people started doing some research, what could be the best output. And on the same note, one gentleman, he started doing some research. And what he found, he visited so many successful companies here and there, and he followed a pattern. And what he said, he published a white paper. And what he said that if you want to get the best output of your project, what you can do is you can work on a specific way. And what he said, first thing first, what you need to do is you need to understand what exactly you are looking for. And that's what he said is you need to understand the requirement. And which makes sense. unless you do not have clarity about the requirement, how you can start working on it. Next, once you have clarity about the requirement, next step from here is you need to have design that how your product, your software will look like. And once you do have complete clarity about the design, the next step over here is what? Doing development. You need to start developing the product. And once your product is completely developed, the next phase from here is you need to test whatever you have done. It's really working as expected or not. And once your product is tested, the next step from here, what you're going to do is you will give this product to the customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, this is what you were looking for. And if customer asks for some more changes, something, let's say maintenance and all, you will be doing. And that is what this model was proposed something around 1970s, late 70s. And when he proposed this model was a hit. Why? There's a reason. The reason is what we say, something is better than nothing. There was no specific way. Everyone, they started following it and they got good result out of this. But later on, they realized there is some major challenge, what everyone was facing on. And the challenge over here is, let's say there's a company and this company is someone who is in retail space. So there's a company called ABC Retail, and this company is in retail space, and this company is having hundreds of physical outlets across India. And what they're looking for, why not, as we have a good customer base, let's have an e-commerce application which can help our end customer. They can buy our products having comfort of being at home. So this was the problem statement. And what they did, they approached to a company, let's say they approached to TCS, a software company, that, hey, why not you help us to have this solution? TCS, Accenture, Wipro, or any of these companies, they will say, okay, fine, this is what we do. This is our expertise. We will be helping you on this. And for this, we need to understand what exactly you are looking for in detailed way. And looks like whatever you are talking about, it will take something around 1 year of time. And in this 1 year of time, again, if we talk about, to summarize this 1 year of time, how it's going to work. So out of this 1 year of time, something around, let's say 1 month will be spending on understanding of the requirement, what you look for. Next 2 months, maybe something on the design. Next 6 months, it will be the doing the development. And last 3 months will spend something for testing. And finally, will be able to give you the project, what you are looking for. Agreement signed. Now, me being a customer, I have already paid a good amount. So I'm very much keen what exactly is going on. So what I did, I just after 3 months, let's say the project had started, and after 3 months, I'm going to this company. Hey, it's been 3 months. Can you show me what work you guys have done? Can you see something? And they will say, hey, no, certainly we can't show you. Yes, if you want, we can show you some document. Requirement is done. Requirement document, business requirement document is ready, but not the product. In fact, we have not yet started. Okay, fine. Now let's say I'm again going back here after 6 months. Hey, it's been 6 months. Can you show me something? What exactly you guys have done? And again, the answer will be no, unfortunately, we can't show you. Why? Yes, we have started the development, but it's not yet done. In fact, we have to complete the development, we have to test it, and then only we can show you. Now, let's see here, this customer is again coming back here after 9 months. Hey, it's 9 months gone, 75% of time has lapsed already. Can you show at least what you guys have done? And again, the answer will be no. Why? Yes, we are done with the development, but still we have not done the testing. And that's why we cannot show you anything. Finally, me being a customer, I'm keep on paying the amount, but I will be able to see my product after 1 year of time. And that was the challenge. So there was a need that, hey, why not we can solve this problem in spite of customer waiting for 1 year, 2 years or so. can we do something so that we can deliver the product faster to the customer? And that was the problem. So again, to solve this problem in year 2001, something around 17 professionals, they met together and they did a lot of discussion, brainstorming, what we can do so that we can solve this problem. And they have a lot of discussion and they proposed a new way of working. What they said, hey, whatever you are doing here in this way of working right now, what you can see, in fact, just to for your awareness, whatever the way, the style of working you can see on the screen, we call it as waterfall. Waterfall means if you have seen a waterfall, how it works, how it looks like. So from the top, water is coming and it will come down like this. It's not like it's going up, down, up, down. No, it's like coming from top to bottom. And that's what first requirement, then only you go for design, then only you go for development. So this was what they were facing the challenge. In the year 2001, they proposed a new style of working. And what they called that style of working is what? Agile. And agile, if you see this word itself, agile means what? Being flexible, flexibility. So what they said, in spite of doing all the requirements, first of all, whatever you are doing, everything is needed. You cannot avoid anything. But one thing you need to change. In spite of spending all this time here, 1 month for requirement, why not you do something here? Take the topmost requirement, design it, develop it, test it, and give it to the customer that, hey, Mr. Customer, you were looking for hundreds of feature, but out of those 100 feature, 10 functionality is what something we have built, and now you can see it. You take feedback from the customer, which is the most important. And then again, take the next set of requirement, design, development, test. And again, let's say you are building 10 more features, give it to the customer, seek feedback from the customer. And again, you keep on doing this. And certainly there will be a time where each and everything, whatever customer was looking for, is done. Now, time-wise, it may take same time, but the main benefit over here is your customer is aligned. Very often you are showcasing the product, whatever you have built, and probability of building anything wrong is quite minimal. Why? Because you are able to take feedback from the customer on a faster note over here. And that is what is the best way. Possible that yes, we are looking for hundreds of features, but your customer may say, hey, whatever you have built, let's say here in this 3-4 months, this amount of work, this is good enough for me, and we can launch this product right away. All right. So this is something also giving option to your customer to launch the product whenever they want. They do not need to wait for this entire cycle. In fact, the earlier way, whatever we discussed, the waterfall approach, it's something really works good today's time also, but not with the, you can say, software. It is much more aligned with the physical product development. For example, let's say if I have to purchase a car. So what I did, I just went to, let's say, Tata showroom. I'm very bad at drawing, but let me see if I can draw something. It looks like a car. Okay, very bad car, but okay, let's see this kind of car I am looking for. Okay, let me just erase it. Okay, so here, so what I did, I am just looking for a car, and for this, what I did, I went to Tata showroom. I said, hey, I'm looking for a car, maybe something like a sedan or so. And they said, yes, certainly we can do it for you. And let's say I'm looking for a car, something like Nexon. Okay, they said, yes, we do have a lot of, but for this, it's a very demand, and whatever color and all I'm looking for, there is a waiting for it, and the waiting time is 6 months. So what will happen? I need to do the booking on the same day whenever I want. 6 months is the booking time. After 6 months, they are going to deliver. It doesn't work that, okay, they will say, okay, fine, 6 months is the waiting time, but nothing to worry. What you can do is you can come to us after 1 month, and after 1 month, we are going to deliver you the 4 wheels of the car. In second month, we are going to deliver you the engine of the car. In fourth month, we are going to deliver you the chips, the outer body. 6 months, seats and all, everything we are going to deliver, wiper, everything, lights and all. And then after we'll manufacture, we'll assemble. And after 6 months, you can start using. Does it work like that? The answer is no. Why? Physical product all the time you can use in a totality. You cannot use in parts and pieces. But if you talk about software product, it's sometimes something it work in a different way. For example, you all got information about this webinar. How you got information with a specific, you can say, a tool, and what we call that tool is WhatsApp, right? You all got information on your WhatsApp about this webinar. So I do remember when I started using WhatsApp, something around maybe 10, 12 years back when I was on that time Bhopal. So okay, so just think for it. Whenever you started using WhatsApp, WhatsApp was just a application. It was a replacement of SMS and MMS. Like earlier, remember, it was so costly. If you have to send a SMS 25 paisa, right, per SMS, we need to pay. Or you have to do a specific tariff, MMS 5 rupees something. So WhatsApp came like a something, a disruptor in the market. So WhatsApp, when it came, it was just like you want to send text message, video message, audio message to anyone. One-to-one chat, group chat is what you can do. That was the very basic WhatsApp. And today, if you see WhatsApp, it's altogether a different game. It's not just limited to sending WhatsApp, sending text, video, or message. You can share your live location. You can share your contacts and so many other things. You can send documents. You can do polls also on the WhatsApp. Not only this, apart from it, also if we talk about, you can make audio call, video call, so many other features are added. In fact, you can make payment. You have a status, you have a community, you have channel, so many features. WhatsApp is something you're using since last 10, 12 years, but WhatsApp, every month, they will keep on adding some new feature. Sometimes you are aware, sometimes you're not aware. By default, it's keep on upgrading. And that is what is the nature of a software product. And that's why we needed this agile methodology. So whatever you can see on the slide, what we call waterfall. And the next thing, whatever we talked about, developing things in a way like you design, develop, test, give it to the customer, take feedback. This way we call it as what? Agile way of working. And with for agile way of working, we use a specific word, two words rather, which is very much important for you to understand. What we call it as something called iterative, and also something what we use word over here called incremental. So what it mean by iterative and what it mean by incremental? So iterative means, remember we said you just deliver something, you take feedback, again you deliver something more. This small cycle itself, what we call it as iteration. And what you did, you deliver first 10 things. Let's say WhatsApp, it was just like a product replacement of SMS, MMS, sending text, audio, video. Then after WhatsApp added audio call on top of it. They added video call on top of it. They added sharing the location, sharing the document. Keep on adding some new feature. And that is what you can say here. Incremental means your product, whatever you do have, it's getting incremented with time. And that is what you can relate with. Now, if you talk about the major key difference between agile and the waterfall, what exactly it is. So let's understand this with an example. And what this over here, the key difference between agile and the waterfall is, let me clear these drawings. So waterfall, what we say, it's a requirement, design, development, testing, everything happens in sequential way. Remember, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on. And agile, if we talk about, it's an iterative and incremental. It's like step by step, we keep on building this. And about agile, what we say, it's a methodology, it's a mindset of doing work. And further, if you talk about agile, what we say, agile is a mindset which you do follow to build the complex project. And under the agile umbrella, we do have various framework here. So again, let me just start writing. So about agile over here, we use a specific word, and what we use word for agile is that it's a methodology. And about whatever you can see at bottom over here, Scrum, Kanban, and so, for this, we use a word, and what we use this word called framework, right? So what it mean by methodology and what it mean by framework, let's understand this as well with some example. So before I talk about this example, let me ask you a question. And question over here is, if okay, so question, very simple question. What is the most popular sport in our country? Everyone do respond. Which one is the most popular game, sport, outdoor sports, or whatever you can say here, which is most popular in our country? Okay, do respond. Okay, all right. So one question, and I can see. Okay, so one response over here is I can say cricket, 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 cricket. Yes, certainly, cricket is the most popular game. Right. So very simple. But now when I talk about cricket, okay, so PUBG as well, but PUBG I said outdoor. It's not like mobile game. So yes, cricket is the most popular game. Okay. So now when you talk about cricket, so how it works, cricket is just a sport, right? So it is something like football, volleyball, whatever, hockey or so. But how you play cricket, that is what it differs. Like we do have one format of the game to which we call test match. We do have one format of the game to which we call one day. And nowadays, one more popular, most popular rather format of the game is what 2020. Right. So in fact, let's say if you talk about test one day, these are the most popular format here. So you all responded. I asked which one is the most popular game, and you all responded one answer, and that is what? Cricket. Now, let me ask you, you all said cricket is the most popular. If I ask how many of you have played this test match? Test match means watch 5 days. How many of you have played the test match? And I'm sure the answer over here is going to be no. Why? Who has time to spend 5 days to play cricket? No. Again, if I ask, hey, how many of you have played one day match? 50-50 over. And again, over here, the response is something going to be no. Why? Hey, one day means entire day will go. Who has this much of time? We are not professional player. Again, if I ask, hey, how many of you have played 2020? Maybe 2-3 people will say, hey, I have played this. But again, if I tweak my question, how many of you have played game called cricket? And I'm sure most of you say, yes, I have played, including me. In my childhood, in my school time, college time, we do not need stadium to play cricket. Wherever you have a space, you start playing. And we do not need always to have 20 over, 50 over or test match or so. We have our own format to play, right? So what we do, we have a space, we'll just playing game of 5-5 over, sometime 10-10 over. Okay. We do not need stadium, not need the ground. We go on the roof, start playing where you do have a space. And that is how it works. But the question to all of you is, either it's one day test match 2020, 5-5, 10-10 over, gully cricket, hall cricket, room cricket, whatever kind of cricket you have played. If I ask how many balls in one over, what would be your answer? How many balls in one over? Okay, so any format of cricket, if you talk about one day test match or whatsoever, how many balls in one over? It's a test match, one day. Format doesn't matter. Yes, you all are right. So if we talk about how many balls, valid balls in an over, it will be 6, whatever game you have played or international level. Again, let's say talk about another scenario. So there is a batsman who is on the batting end, bowler is doing the bowling, batsman hits the ball, it crossed the boundary just after touching the ground. So it's like one bounce, two bounce, and then it's crossing the boundary. How many run this batsman is going to get? Ball crossed the boundary after hitting the ground. Okay, so yes, format again doesn't matter, it's four. Same way over here, now you can see, you try to relate here. Different format of the game, but there are certain rules, certain things which are very much common. Same way you can relate over here is what agile as a methodology, which is having four values and 12 principle. This is what agile values, four values and 12 principle you need to follow. By following this 12 value and four value and 12 principle, you can come up with any format like test match, one day, 2020, and whatsoever it is. And this is what you can say. Same like cricket, we play like test match, one day, 2020. Agile implementation, you can do it like Scrum, Lean, Kanban, and so many things are there. But certainly, if we talk about most popular format over here is what Scrum. This is what something you need to relate with. So again, so many people, they do confused. Agile is what? It's not a framework, it's a methodology. Scrum is what? It's a framework which follows agile methodology. And with this note, let's proceed further. So now we have covered about agile, about something about why agile, all those aspects. And now just quickly, I'm just going to introduce you with the concept and what is that? That is what is about the most popular thing here, why you are here in this webinar to have a deeper understanding of it and what is that Scrum framework. And let me tell you, Scrum is something very, very simple, easy to understand. Why it's simple and easy to understand? Because very less terminology. It's not like so complex framework over here. And in fact, whatever you can see on this slide, this is what you can say is 80% of the Scrum. Why? So, and in fact, you can see here multiple words, but just to remember these words, you need to remember one acronym. And what this acronym, what I say here is something called 353. If you're able to remember, if you're able to be aware about this 353, certainly you can say that, yes, I have good understanding about Scrum framework. How? So about this 353, 3E, what we call it here is 3 roles. 5 is what is something we call 5 events. And the lastly, what you can see here, to which we call it as 3 artifacts. So 3 roles, 5 events, and then we have what? 3 artifacts. Scrum is all about 3 roles, 5 event, 3 artifacts. So let's quickly understand what exactly 3 roles are. And today I'm just going to introduce this. And tomorrow is the time when we'll be having a deep dive on this entire slide. Entire session tomorrow will be on the Scrum framework. But before that, what exactly is the 3 roles we do have here? So if we talk about 3 roles, what you can see on the screen. So 3 roles here. So role number 1, what we do have something called PO, the product owner. Number 2 is what? Developer. And number 3 is what? You. Why? Because you are someone who is aspiring to be Scrum Master. So third role is what? Scrum Master. Further, if we talk about here, we do have 5 event. So what exactly 5 events we do have? So event number 1, what we call it as a sprint. Sprint is a container event in which we do have 4 more event. And what is that? Something called sprint planning, something called daily stand-up. We have something called sprint review. And the last event, what we do have is sprint, a retrospective. 3, 5. And the last 3, what you can see over here, to which we call 3 artifacts. Artifacts. And what all are the 3 artifacts? Product backlog, sprint backlog, and third one, what we do have over here is something called finished work, or also we call this as a product increment. So Scrum is what? About 3 roles, 5 events, and 3 artifacts. And if you are able to having much more clarity, you can say, hey, I know Scrum in a better way. In fact, it's very easy to understand. Every word itself, it quite self-explanatory. If we just go with one thing here, so let's say if I talk about one role, what is that? What this role is all about. So let me just clear it out. So let's say if we talk about PO, the product owner. So I just said, yes, Scrum is not a complex thing. It's very easy to understand. If you just go with the word itself and what this word says, someone who is owner, and owner of what? Product. And if I'm someone who is honor means what? Decision maker. I am going to make a decision. Decision about what? The product. What kind of decision? It's like what need to be built in this product. Someone need to decide. Also, yes, we have hundreds of things to do, but someone need to set the priority when exactly it need to be done. So what need to be done, when it need to be done, who is going to decide? It's the PO, the product owner. And in general, PO, what does? Takes input from the customer, doing on analysis and listing down each and everything at one place and setting up the priority, what exactly we need to do. And that is what is a job of a PO, of a product owner. Okay, so are we clear till now? So whatever we discuss, are we clear? If yes, type C in the chat box. C for clear. Got clarity? Whatever we have discussed till now. Yes, no, yes, no. Got clarity? All right. So if you got clarity, so that was something my intention for day one, to give you clarity about some basics about Agile, about Scrum. Okay. So how many of you, whatever we spent time together, something around 1 hour, so got good value, right? So if you got good value, type V in the chat box. V for value. That yes, whatever we time spent together, certainly I got good learning, right? So it worth, and whatever my knowledge was something around 1 hour back, I am certainly on next level of it. If got good value, type V for value. Okay, superb, superb. All right, so good to see here that yes, you all got good value. And let me ask you one more question. How many of you are super committed that yes, whatever happened today was day one, it's not the end. I am going to be here tomorrow as well on day two. If you are someone who's committed for this, type C in the chat box. C for committed, that yes, I am going to be here tomorrow as well. Are you someone committed? Type C. C for committed. Okay, let me see how many of you are really committed. Okay, and commitment is what? Okay, super. Good to see here. If you are someone committed, let me tell you here, you are already having one attribute of Scrum. Why? Because Scrum is having 5 values, and one of the Scrum value is what? Commitment. Said is done. I said I am going to do. Okay, superb. So, all right. So, with this, we are done with the day one. And I just said, I promise we'll be having certain questions and answer Q&A. So, whatever question you do have, you can post your question here in the Q&A. And I am going to take those questions here. Okay, by the way, before we proceed further here on this part, how many of you would like to have certain gift from my side? If you're someone who like to have gift, type ILG in the chat box. ILG for what? I love gift, and I have something for you to offer. And okay, so and it is only for those people who are willing to, who do respond here in the chat box. Okay, so all right, so what is something I have for you? So again, like this. Okay, so if you are someone who has attended this webinar and you like the content, okay, and if you want to be in touch, that yes, you want to have certain more learning like this, so I do have one private Facebook group, so where I keep on sharing some good content about Agile, about Scrum, and mostly it's about the career transformation. So if you are someone who want to be part of this community, I just said here, Scrum Master Career Transformation Hub, Agile Career Transformation Hub. It's a private group. It's not like accessible to everyone. It is just on the request basis. So if you are someone who want to be part of this community, what you have to do is you just need to request for the access, and then I will be giving you access here. So how it works, let me share here in the chat box. And here we go. So the link is here in the chat box. You just need to send a request for it. And whatever request I am going to take, I will be approving it right away. Okay, all right. And with this, we'll proceed with the Q&A session here. So anyone having any specific question, if you do have, you can post your questions here in the Q&A. So not in the chat box, because chat will be keep on flooded here with a lot of questions here. I will not able to track. But yes, if you do have any question, you can post your question here in the Q&A, and I am going to take those questions. Meanwhile, I got many requests here on the Facebooks here. So let me approve those requests here. And here we go. Okay. All right. So, okay. So here we go. Okay. So link I have already, okay. So posted here in the chat box. You can just go through this link and you can request for access. Okay. All right. Okay. So here we go. Okay. All right. So I can see certain question. I'm just going to take questions. And yes, okay. So yeah, about LinkedIn. Yes, I do. I am on the LinkedIn as well. So I'm just sharing here this link. In fact, what you can see here. Okay. So I'm just going to share this link. You can see here over here my LinkedIn, my Instagram. Again, Instagram also, I'm very much active there about certain content about Agile, Scrum, career transformation. If you are someone who is willing to follow it, so you can do it. I'm just sharing here this link, so you can just go on. Okay. And before I start taking certain questions, I'm sure so many of you are here in this webinar. You do have one question, one thought in your mind about career transformation. I will be able to do it or not. So for this, one assignment is for you. And what is the assignment? Let me share here the link. Okay, assignment over here is we have our YouTube channel where I have shared certain case study. You can say it's a success story rather. Someone from a different background, how they were able to transition in the Scrum Master job role. So I'm just going to share that link. There is a playlist for this. This is what you have to watch. Why? Because once you watch it, you will be able to get much more clarity on it. That is what is something intention for this. And let me share this link with you. Okay, 1 second. Let me share this link. Okay, and here we go. I can see some questions here. I'm just going to make questions here. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what you have to do is I'm just posting here in the chat box certain case studies, or you can say rather a success story of the students who has gone through similar kind of training, and they were able to make a career transition in a short span of time. And what you have to do is you have to watch it. Lot of your question that I will be able to do it or not. Okay, so that will be already clarified. So here I'm just posting here the link. You can just go through it. In fact, I would say you can subscribe it as well. You will be getting enough clarity after watching this. Okay, so let me share the link over here. All right, so welcome everyone to this special session. Okay, so here is the link. You can just follow it and you will be able to. This is something which is adds me towards my. Okay, so okay, all right. So this is what is something for your reference. So make sure that you are watching it at least 1 or 2 video. You watch it. This will give you enough clarity that if you are someone not in this job role, you will be able to do it or not, and what should you do to get it clarified. Okay, so this is what you are going to get here. And yes, some of you is something is okay. So about the link, group link. So I'm just going to share the WhatsApp group link as well. If you are someone who has not yet joined, I would say you can join it so that you will be getting tomorrow a reminder for attending this. Okay, so here we go. Let me Okay, so here is the group link. So for your reference, and now let's get started with the Q&A here. Okay, so the first question is I can see from Aditya. So how long will it take to learn Scrum and get hired for a job? So Scrum is something, Aditya, it takes something around, you can say 1 month. In fact, I do have my mentorship program. So it's a 1 month program. 1 month is a good enough time for learning. 1 month is for learning Scrum, Jira, everything you can learn. And again, you start giving interview and getting a job. What I say, it take on an average 5 interview. So in fact, success story, whatever I have shared in this YouTube video, you can just go through it. So again, everyone who get job, almost they give 5 to 6 interview average. So faster you are able to give this 5 interview, you will be able to get the job. Okay, so this is what you can relate with. I hope I answered your question. So next question is from Esware. Is Scrum Master helpful for product-based organization? Certainly, yes. So many companies like product-based company, they also need to have a specific process. So they also do follow it, and over there as well. Either it's a service-based is much more requirement, product-based as well is the need of Scrum Master. Okay, so next one over here is question from Swati. So I am from teaching background and looking forward to understand how I can get opportunities to get a job as a Scrum Master. I finished my master in 2014. Swati, how it works, and I'm sure so many of you are able to relate with a Swati question. So what happens, whoever is attending this webinar, I do, you can say high level, I do divide it into category. Number one, someone who is in any job which is kind of neutral on paper. Means, let's say your offer letter, salary slip, it's something neutral. Let's say it's a lead, a team lead, it's a senior consultant, manager. Again, manager can be in the bank, in the BPO, in any industry. But if your job role is something like this, like neutral, so with the same experience, you can go ahead. You have to say wherever you work as a Scrum Master, you implemented Scrum, and that will be a pitch. You will be able to get a job. Second, someone who is like, let's say, Swati, who is from a teaching background. Certainly in your offer letter, documents and all, it will be like, let's say, school teacher, assistant professor, whatever, XYG. Something it's totally different. It's not related at all with IT perspective. So in such a scenario, I would say there are certain companies who can help you to work on certain documentation. You can take help from those. They will fill the gap. Show it that, yes, you do have experience, and then you need to apply. You will be able to get it. It may sound weird, but it works. Okay, so what is the duration of a project in Agile? So project is duration in Agile. I would say it depends on project to project. Some project will be something of 1 year, 6 months. Some project will keep on going, right? So there's no any limitation. So it will be keep on going. Okay, so Jahid Hussain Chaudhary. So I have 6+ years of experience in mechanical engineer. Okay, so again, I just said here, your experience doesn't matter. I have a students who has done civil, having 6 year experience in the civil industry, and they were able to do. So the video, YouTube video, whatever I have shared, this is of Jen, who was also from mechanical background, but he worked around 6+ years in the BPO, nothing to do with the IT. He tried so many other things, didn't work out. Then he approached to me last year, March, and within 3 months, he was able to make transformation. Okay, so I hope this answer your question. So can you help in customizing our resume for Scrum Master in this 3-day workshop? The answer is no. The intent of this webinar is to give you clarity about the content or so. So certainly we cannot work out on the CV or so in this webinar. Okay, so how are we getting job? Is there any guarantee for job? So Ankit, in today's world, there is nothing called guarantee. I cannot take guarantee of myself also. Why? Tomorrow also, I'm going to have this webinar. This is what published. Again, life, no guarantee. If I'm here, I will take the session. If I'm not, I cannot take it. So it's not about the guarantee that I am going to give you for the job, but guarantee is that whatever content you need, you are someone who need a job. So I am over here to give you all the content, whatever you need to get a job. But it's you who has to perform in the interview. On that level, certainly you need to perform. So content-wise, everything you're gonna get, you need to just work on it, and then you have to perform in the interview. You will be able to get a job. Okay, so next one over here is from Asa. Why we required Scrum because master? Because project manager can able to handle the SDLC process agile. Okay, okay, and PM can able to handle the daily activity also, right? So Asa, good question. So if you talk about project manager role, that is something in the waterfall methodology. Scrum works in a different way. Scrum Master is not about having authority and doing assignment of the task to you do this, you do that. It's about helping the team so that your team is able to perform on the highest level. In fact, all about this we'll talk in detail in tomorrow's session. Okay, so all right. So let me take some more question here. Okay, so as a software QA tester, how can I switch to Scrum Master? Working as a senior test engineer, how can I switch to SM job role? So I would say switching from testing to Scrum Master, it's very, very common. In fact, I would say you can resonate with my wife's story. She was also working as a QA. She was in Capgemini till 2022 October. In August 22, she just thought, okay, it's enough of, let's say, she was a automation tester, mobile testing, APM tester she was. So now enough of that testing or let's say technical stuff, wanted to be in the managerial job role. She started looking for, she was having experience around 8 years. She was getting 13. As a QA, she started with the Scrum Master in November 2022. He got job as a Scrum Master with a package of 23, right? With just 8 years of experience. So yes, it's a very common. So what in your case, you have to show that yes, you currently your on paper job role is something different, but you are already working as a Scrum Master. And that's why you need to have a mentorship training, which will help you to get enough clarity about the content and all. Okay, so next, is it possible to get more info about companies which, okay, so Swati, we can connect on this one-to-one basis. We can help you on that part. Okay, so anyone else having any specific question? Okay, okay, all right. Okay, so Asutosh, is it possible to get the job in Scrum Master with fresh graduate? The answer is no. Scrum Master is kind of a managerial job role. That's what it said here. At least you must have done your bachelor degree 3, 4, 5 years back. 3 to 4 years is what minimum is required, so that that experience you can show you have worked and you have implemented Scrum. Okay. All right. So that's all for today. We'll be taking some more questions here now tomorrow. So by the way, let me check one last time. How many of you are super committed that yes, you are going to be here tomorrow as well? If you are someone super committed, type C in the chat box. C for committed. Yes, whatever happened today, I am here. Tomorrow as well, I will be part of this webinar. Okay, so super good to see here your energy and your commitment. And yes, if you are someone who is committed, let me tell you, tomorrow I will, at end of the webinar, I will talk about my mentorship program. How, if you are someone not in this field, you are in the QA, you're in a different field, but if you want to upskill to start your journey as a Scrum Master, how you can do it in a fast track way, we'll talk about that as well tomorrow. All right, so thank you everyone. Bye-bye. Good day.